Do you ever have a hard time knowing what to buy people for Christmas?
Stick around. We got a whole list of things under $100 that are perfect for that person in your life.
I'm so excited. I'm planning to start doing live videos weekly in December. And Liz from Little Farm Big Dreams and I are planning on doing them back to back. So we'll all hop on and watch her for half an hour, and then you guys can hop on and watch me for half an hour, or maybe the other way around. We haven't worked out all the details yet. Times and day will be announced later, but I hope you all come back to watch us live in December.
We're kicking off this holiday season with our wish list of the best gifts for homesteaders and people you love.
That's right. So we're gonna do 2 of these videos. The first one that you're watching right now is gonna be our choice of gifts for under $100.
Under $100.
Now, some of you might like to make gifts for holiday giving, and you might like to find some of these items at thrift stores, and that's great. Neither one of us is super crafty. We usually buy gifts.
I made Christmas ornaments last year.
Oh, that's true. We do. We do make some gifts when we can. But just to make things easy, we have put together all of these items that we're going to talk about today in one Amazon list. So if you click it below, you can scroll through and find any of the things that we talk about in this video. And if you do click through there and buy it, we get a little something as an affiliate.
Sure. And
our commitment to you is anything that we earn through a YouTube video is going to be put back into the farm. So thanks for that if you choose to click through and look at those items.
Yeah. All right, first item on the list. Rogue Tools. Rogue's been a popular name in homesteading tools for a while. They're from recycled plowing discs. Like
I didn't know that.
Yeah, when they turn the soil with those disc plows.
Yep.
Yeah. So once they're retired, they become Rogue Tools.
Very cool. All right, and they're well made. They last a long time, and they're not super expensive.
No, I think they start right around $35.
Right. So
rake, hose, scuffle hose. They got big selection of stuff to look at, and we'll leave a generic link that'll kick you to one of these items, and then you can take it from there.
All right. Will you hold this? I got something I want to show. Everybody on the farm needs muck boots.
Gotta have a pair.
These are my choice. These are Bogg Boots. They retail for around $80. They are waterproof. This is like the neoprene stuff, right? Mm-hmm. And they're warm. I forgot what they're rated to. Do you remember? Like in the negative numbers, I think.
Yeah, like -20 or so.
Something like that.
They have a good low weather rating.
Yep. Easy clean up with the hose and keeps you nice and dry during snowy months.
Now I have a bigger pair, same brand. What I like about them is the little handle here on the side when you're pulling them on.
Right.
A lot of your gum boots and stuff like that, they just have no way to pull them up.
Yep, this makes getting them on and off easier. And also, these are the ones I prefer in the winter. In the summer, I have a short ankle height pair that I like to use just for walking around and slipping in and out of.
Cool.
All right, one other thing that I'm gonna talk about before we cut it over to Chris's list is my pig shirt. That person in your life might just need a farm shirt this winter. So you can either try this pig shirt or a chicken shirt like this one.
Oh.
And both of these cost about $20 and will be included in the link when you click through. All right, Chris, let's go take a look at some of the things you want to talk about.
Right on. Hey guys, all right, so here's the first item on my Christmas wish list. It is a multi-tool. Now this multi-tool happens to be a Leatherman Wave Plus. It goes for about 79 bucks. And over the years, however, I've owned the SOGs, Gerbers, Leathermans, and never really had one let me down when I needed it. And this is the kind of thing that once you have it and you carry it with you every day, you kind of wonder, how did I get by without that before now? Now, this Leatherman that I've got, I've accessorized a little bit by adding this little lanyard ring. It's like, I don't know, it's a couple buck add-on. I'll find it and put the link in the description below. And it just locks into place like that. And you can put it on a key ring, lanyard, whatever you need to clip it onto something, carabiner, or clip it on your bag. It makes it real handy and easy. In addition to the Leatherman, I got the little accessory bit pack, which really opens up the tool to the world of Torx and square bits and, you know, Phillips and flatheads and everything else. And when you're in that pinch, it's probably going to be one of these that you wish you had. So these accessories are fairly inexpensive, and they slip right in the case that this comes with. Next item on my list is some winter gloves. Now these are your regular leather work gloves. However, on the inside, you'll notice they have a lining. And these things are nice and warm on those cold winter days. And in fact, I'll share a little secret with you. I wore them this morning when I got into my car to drive to work because the steering wheel was a little bit frosty and I have sensitive skin. Okay, all joking aside, I did wear them this morning. It was cold outside because we had our first Missouri snow yesterday. So winter is definitely here. The one good thing about these, they come in a wide range of sizes from your medium, large, extra large, 2X, and even 3X. I'll put a link in the description below, and you big guys know you're feeling the love today. All right, the next thing on my list is a headlamp. Now, on these winter days, when the sun's going down early, this is the kind of thing you're gonna need to get those evening chores done. We use these all through the winter, and essentially, you know, I dug them out today because winter's here. And these happen to be black diamond. I picked them up at a sporting goods store that I used to work near when they went on clearance or sale from every now and then. But you don't need a name brand headlamp such as the black diamond or the Petzls. It's just what was cheap for me at the time. Now, I'm using this little cheaper one right here. And as you can see, it's only about 20 bucks. It's called the Wiz. I'll put a link for that in the description below. It's not super bright, but it's enough light on a winter's night to get the job done. And the other brand that I would recommend would be the, if you're looking for something inexpensive, the Energizer. Energizer brand, the same people that make the batteries, have like a $20, $22 headlamp, and you can find those Walmarts around the country. So real cheap, real inexpensive, and they do a great job, and they're durable.
Is there someone in your family that only likes the edge pieces on the brownie? I can relate to that. I love the edge pieces. You know what? So does everyone in my family. So if that's you or someone else in your family, here's the perfect item to put on their Christmas wish list. It is the all edge brownie pan by Baker's Edge. I got this for Chris a few years ago, and we use it all the time. It's our go-to brownie pan. It retails for about $35, $36. And of course, everything that we're going to talk about in this video will be linked in the description below. Also, here's a tip for you. If it's hard for you to surprise each other at Christmas time because everybody in the family shares one Amazon Prime account, just find a friend who's near you who has Amazon Prime and ask them to order it, pay them the cash. That's how I surprised Chris with this pan a couple of years ago. The second item that I think everybody should have in their home, and that would be a great gift for your homesteader or farmsteader friend or family member, is this cast iron skillet by Lodge. In fact, any cast iron cookware, the Dutch oven, the griddle, different size skillets, they're great because you can use them on any type of cook surface, whether you're on grid or off grid. They can be cooked on top of the wood stove. They can be used in the oven, on the stove top, gas or electric. They're wonderful. The food tastes better when it's cooked in this. My particular favorite is this 12-inch size skillet because it's large enough you can put a whole skillet meal in there. It's also deep enough that you can fry chicken in there if you want to. For years, I unnecessarily avoided cooking in the skillet because I really thought cleanup was going to be such a chore. All that stuck on stuff. You can't throw this in the dishwasher, right? Well, I'm going to share two tools with you that actually make cleanup a breeze. That is this brush by Lodge and this chainmail called the Ringer. We get the water really hot in the sink, hot running water. Put the chainmail over the scrub brush. Scrub it like that. A few seconds. It really, everything washes right away. It's great. If your pan has sat a little bit and the stuff is kind of, you know, hard, like you sat down to eat dinner, we do warm it back up just to kind of loosen it, get any grease loose before we cook it. But really, it's not difficult. It makes it easy. So your cast iron skillet is going to go for around $30 on Amazon for this size. But like I said, any size cast iron cookware is a great gift. The brush is about $10 and the chainmail is $14. A little gift accessory kit to go with your cast iron gift that you're going to give your loved one. All right, the last item in the kitchen that I want to talk about tonight is this stainless steel French press by Secura. So I've gone through a couple of French presses. I had 2 glass ones before this. And the first one I dropped in the sink and it broke. The second one, I didn't drop at all. It was just sitting on the counter steeping, and I looked over and there's coffee pouring out the bottom, and when I picked it up, the whole bottom just fell right off of it. And I really like the way coffee tastes in the French press. It's a better cup of coffee. It's easy to make. Again, it can be on grid or off grid. There's no electric involved. You just have to heat the water before you pour it in here to steep it. And so we started to look for other solutions. And I think Chris might have been the one who actually found this stainless steel French press for me. Now, in addition to the fact that it's not going to break if I'm clumsy or if the water's too hot, it also doesn't cool off as fast. So your coffee stays hotter longer in the press. So if you're going to have a second cup, then, you know, it lasts a little while. This is $29 on Amazon. It's the smaller size. This can make about 3 decent sized cups of coffee. They also have a bigger version. I believe it's around $50 and can make, I think it's 40 or 50 ounces. 5 cups. It's about 5 cups of coffee. So that being said, I'm going to pour myself a cup of coffee and I'm going to sit down with Chris and we're going to talk about some other things that you might want to get somebody on the homestead or on the farm this Christmas. Okay, we're back now to talk about some things that aren't really for her or him or outdoors or kitchen, but are really for everyone. So Chris, will you start us off? Tell me about this.
All right, this is a rechargeable battery charger. So we'll talk about the batteries and the charger. Let's start with the batteries. I always recommend the Inaloop brand. They're by Panasonic. The great thing about these is you can charge them up and they will retain the majority of their charge even while they're stored. They have a great, you know, reuse life. You can start training your kids young by teaching them how to change the batteries in the remote control. And then pretty soon they're well trained and they can swap out all the batteries in the devices in your house, and they're on that path to independence. The charger is a titanium brand. It's kind of a no-name brand, but it has really good specs. It's lasted us for years. It'll charge the AAAs or the AAs, and it'll charge each individual socket independently with a digital readout below that shows when a battery is full. And when you pop it in, it shows that it's not full, and it blink, blink, bleep, bleep. It's trickling it up. It comes with the AC outlet adapter and a cigarette car adapter. So should there be a power outage or blackout in your area, you can still take your charger, plug it into the car, charge up your batteries, and have AAs or AAAs for whatever you need, as long as you have gas.
The thing I like about rechargeable batteries in general, and specifically about these, is twofold. First of all, it does seem a little bit of an expense when you're gonna buy a $60 charger and add the cost of the batteries onto it. But if you think about how many times you have to replace batteries and items around your home, you're gonna quickly recoup that value.
Like a big brick of AAs at Walmart was like 14 bucks, 16 bucks this week. when we walked past the battery display.
Yeah, pretty expensive. And the Inaloop, it seems that these last longer in items than any other rechargeable batteries that we have tried in the past. It may just be that rechargeable battery technology overall has improved, or it might be that this is superior, or a combination of the both.
Yeah, the technology has improved, but these are the best out there, and you can just research it to death and find out that everyone recommends these.
And I feel like we don't change these any more often, maybe slightly more often than we would a regular battery.
Yeah, especially in like low drain devices like a TV remote or something. They go forever.
Yep, I think so. Okay, moving on. What should we talk about next?
Socks.
Okay. Socks make a great gift for winter because on those cold winter nights, not only can you keep your hands warm.
If you need your hands warm, go buy the gloves.
They make hand puppets. You can have a little play. No, look, these already have pink lips.
Judge Carter's gonna get you checked out.
Okay, in all seriousness, socks wear out.
Yes, they do.
And feet get cold, and if your feet get cold and your head get cold, the rest of you is going to be cold real quick. So we recommend having a wool hat and wool socks on your feet.
Yeah, these are merino wool, so it's the less itchy wool.
Right.
And it really has great, you know, heat retention properties.
As are these.
Yeah.
This brand. Okay, so tell us about yours.
Mine are Vermont Darn Tough socks. My brother-in-law recommended these to me. And he's like this super athletic mountain climber kind of guy. We'll throw in a photo or two here of his mountain climbing. And he recommended these to me on two things. He said they last a long time. And then once you wear them out, they have a lifetime warranty. They'll send you a new pair. So, hey, for 24 bucks or so, I was going to give it a go. These come, this pair is a double XL. They come all the way up to size 17 feet.
Wow.
So for the big and tall, we're feeling your love today. We know it's hard. But yeah, so I wear a size 15, so these are the size for me.
Yeah.
And I like them. I really like them. I'm enjoying them.
Okay, I have two kinds of wool socks here. These are the Kirkland Trail something. Trail, I wrote it down. Kirkland Women's Trail Socks. I like these for fall, spring, summer. These are good inside the boots, but they're also good inside tennis shoes or other shoes that you're gonna wear around. They're not super thick. They don't take up a lot of extra space inside your shoes, which is good for me. They're comfy for wearing around the house. I would suggest buy all one color. I am surprised that I actually found a matching pair today when I opened the drawer. These were already mated in the drawer because we bought, the first time we got them, we got like, Carter got purples and Leslie got blues and I got grays. And
yeah, it was like that 4-pack that had 4 different kinds.
Right.
Of 4 pairs, but all of them different.
And cannot keep track of them.
Sock monster.
Yeah, so I usually end up wearing mismatched socks, but these are super comfy and cozy and keep your feet warm in the less colder months, or the warmer months, I guess you would want to say. And they go for about $25 for a 4-pack.
So,
this is...
You know what this is? Sock monster!
Who's gonna... Judge Carter gonna get checked out?
Oh, we're silly folks.
Okay. This is the brand that Chris bought me when I first moved out here because I never wore socks in California much, except when I was running. These are by Browning, and they have the emblem is a little deer head. These are also merino wool, and they're a little thicker, a little more cushion, and they're great for cold times, camping, winter months.
They're good in your like rubber work boots too.
Yeah, where you got a little bit more room.
Yeah, I like having the thicker cushion on the bottom of my feet. I think that's a plus in my book.
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, especially if you're going to be, you know, walking on the hills. Anytime you're going to be doing a little more on your feet in uneven terrain kind of stuff than just your regular day-to-day stuff. These go for $22 for a 2 pair. I don't think they have this exact style.
I think, yeah, that's a couple of years old. I think they've moved on in their style, but they have some similar stuff that's about $8 to $10 a pair.
Yeah, so that is something we would definitely recommend. Stocking stuffers. I like things like this for little gifts. Easy to get, and you know they're gonna fit. All right.
Easy to get, you know it's gonna fit. You made a rhyme.
That's the way I roll. Okay, winter means a little bit more downtime on the farm or the homestead, and for us, that means family game night.
Well, the family's always getting together for the holidays anyway, right?
That's right.
So yeah, we got a couple of our family favorites here to show you.
We do, and this again, on grid, off grid, anybody can play a game.
That's right.
It doesn't take electricity, it doesn't take batteries.
So we'll start with the classic.
Okay, this is my absolute favorite board game, I think, of all time. It's like Sorry for Adults, I think is the way I would say it. Kids can play it too, though.
If you can play Sorry, this is like taking it up a notch.
Yeah, it's got some fun little twists in it, and I'm trying to see if it has a suggested age. This is so old, they didn't even like suggest ages. They just assumed parents could figure out when their kids could play games back in the day. You can see I've like taped the corners together and stuff.
And the instructions are printed in the lid and not on like a slip of paper.
So this is my actual board game. Growing up, absolutely love it. Lots and lots of fun. And if you send somebody home, you get to go 20 extra spaces. So you can see it's gone through wear and tear. It looks like somebody set their coffee cup on it once upon a time. This game goes for $14 new on Amazon.
Kind of cheap, all things considered.
Yeah, for a board game, it's not bad. All right, what you got there?
All right, so the game I'm going to recommend is Ticket to Ride. Now, Ticket to Ride is a family board game, and basically you collect the color cards to complete routes across the U.S. And so the board game looks like a map of the United States with just the major cities kind of there. And you go from point A to point B, and like you say, New York to Los Angeles, and you got to collect all the different colors that make up the route from New York to Los Angeles. It's a really great game. We started playing it a ways back when they only had this one US version. And then they came out with this 1910 expansion pack, which kind of added new routes, so new point A to point B. So now you're going from St. Louis to Chicago, right? So a little bit mix up in the routes. It kind of changes things. The bonus thing is with this expansion pack, you get the large size cards versus the microscopic little tiny baby cards that came with the original game.
Right.
So
definitely worth it for the expansion pack.
Yeah, just for the cards alone, if nothing else.
This is also going to help if you have some kids that are, you know, you're wanting to learn a little bit of geography. You're going to learn some of the major cities across the United States. You get an idea. The states are not labeled, but the outlines of each state are there. So you could use this as an educational game. You also, a lot of math involved in this game because you're adding your score along the way as you go.
Adding your score as you go, and then bonus points when you complete your route. So if you went from New Orleans through Houston all the way up to Duluth, then there's 2, 3, 5, 7, 8, 9, 10. So 10 points for that route. And, you know, it's kind of a fun game.
We really enjoy it. Our whole family likes it.
And so, yeah, so you're saying the big cards versus the...
what you got there? A train car?
Yeah, versus the tiny cards. So having the full-size cards to play with, definitely worth the $15 to get the expansion pack.
Especially if you have big hands like him.
I have big hands, and I like to tear things up.
we are showing the love to the big and tall guys tonight, aren't we?
Well, that's my whole life, you know, so I deal with it every day. The discrimination is out there.
I think that's it for our family choices for the homestead.
So these next few items are gonna wrap up what's on my Christmas wish list for 2018. One of the things that I have here is a Ride in the Rain notebook. These things are super handy on those wet, rainy farm days. You don't want to take your phone outside and get it wet. This notepad is waterproof. You can go out there and write down, I need to buy more horse feed. The pigs weigh 250 pounds. They're ready to go to the butcher. Whatever kind of notes you're taking on the farm, you can do it rain or shine with this little handy notepad. And a lot of your prepper type folks will stash these away. They're just, you know, kind of one of those things. If you need to leave a note for a family member, slap it on the door. Doesn't matter if it rains or snows, the message will still get through. Next, the venerable Swiss Army knife. Now this thing has been with me for many years. It's not the first one that I've owned, but you can tell there's some smuts on the blade. It's been well used and, you know, put away wet more than once. The Swiss Army knife is the perfect knife for that kid's first knife. You know, they're about 3rd grade to 5th grade kind of age range. Whenever you think they're ready. I got mine, I think probably just around 3rd grade. My parents gave me my first pocket knife. And it was a Swiss Army. So it holds a special place in my heart. And I'm gonna tell you, honestly, my favorite part about this Swiss Army knife is not the tweezers, but it's the toothpick. Oh yeah. So there's a toothpick. If you didn't know, and my wife's eyes are like bulging out of her head, she probably didn't know this. I can't get it out. It's been so well used. I clipped my fingernails today. All right, here we go. Toothpick. Pick that grit right out of your teeth there and slap it back in there for next time. No sharing. This one's mine. All right. So anyway, it's my favorite pocket knife. They come in a wide assortment of prices from 20 bucks to 500 bucks if you're gonna go for the Super Champ Deluxe ABCD model. But the basic Swiss Army, they have a model called the Farmer, and it's got a lot of handy tools for those in the homesteading lifestyle, including a basic knife, saw, and a couple of handy like a hoof pick, etc. type things that you can use on your farm. Okay, on to my next item is the emergency all-weather radio. This was a hand crank model, and it's got a little flashlight, solar panels, AM, FM, and weather radio, and it's got a neat little carabiner that can snap onto your backpack or bag. My daughter gave me this one for Christmas, and one of the neat features that it has is the ability to charge your phone. So you can plug your phone right into this thing, crank it, and keep power on your phone, which is important in staying in touch with those you care about. And then having the weather radio feature to tune in and listen to know when the all clear is given, and you can come out of your storm shelter. So that's actually where this one stays. It stays in our storm shelter, and I got the little handy clip. I just clip it right on the rack we have in there. And it is a great little all-weather emergency radio to have. This is the Eton, E-T-O-N, Scorpion 2, and it goes for about $45. So not too pricey, and it's a great thing to have. An emergency radio of some type is essential on a farm. Okay, I want to show you this other radio here that expands on the capabilities of that one just a little bit. This is a shortwave radio, so it has AM, FM, shortwave, TV frequencies, and other things like that. But this isn't the real prize. There's lots of shortwave radios out there, and they come in all shapes and sizes and prices. So if you wanted to expand on your capabilities, maybe step up to a shortwave. If you already have a shortwave radio, though, this is the be-all, end-all for items you need. This is an external antenna. So to pull in those shortwave frequencies and hear the news from the BBC and around the world, this is essential. You can plug it in if your radio has an external antenna input, or it comes with a little clip that you can plug into and then extend your aerial. And the clip will clip right on to your standard aerial, and that will extend your antenna to give you those shortwave frequencies. So pretty neat little trick there. This expands out, I don't know, quite a ways. It's got like a little a fishing reel type thing where you just wind it up and wind it out, but it is quite lengthy. I don't know the exact length, but those shortwave frequencies are long wave, so you need a long antenna. That's the trick there. So this is a Sangean, S-A-N-G-E-A-N, external antenna for shortwave radio. And that can go with your emergency radios if you get one that has the shortwave frequencies. So those are the last few items on my Christmas wish list.
I think we've given everyone a lot of things to think about, some good choices for under $100. Mm-hmm. But I'm wondering, what is it you want for Christmas?
I'm wanting something I've seen reviewed here lately on a bunch of YouTube channels. We missed the sale, but I'm still kind of wanting it. And even though I have a bunch of flashlights, it's another flashlight.
Another flashlight. We can never have too many flashlights. Which one is it?
So the one I'm looking at is the Olight S2R version 2 baton flashlight. It's a rechargeable flashlight. The thing I like about it is like it goes click and it sticks on a magnet and then it's recharging.
Oh, that's cool.
And it uses a plug in the USB, so it'll be a great nightstand flashlight. That's what I'm thinking. Go. There you go. Under $100, right in there.
All right, very cool. I'll keep that in mind.
It's already in the wish list.
Oh, thanks.
Yeah, so you can find it.
So it'll be easy for me to find. Did you notice that I don't have anything in the wish list?
I didn't look.
That's because I want a dehydrator. I have been watching everybody with their fall fruit, and they've been making jam and apple butter and dehydrating apples and pears and all sorts of stuff. And I really want a dehydrator, but I don't know which one. So if you have a dehydrator, if you have a favorite dehydrator that you would recommend, please tell me in the comments and tell me why that's the one for you.
Yeah, okay. That makes sense. Hey, and even if you're not picking any of these items, head on over and check out that list. You might find a few extras we threw in there that didn't make the cut for the video, but we threw in there just for you.
Hey, there you go. Do you get stumped trying to figure out what to get everybody for Christmas?
Never. I know what I want.
This isn't about what you want.
Oh.
It's about what you want to buy for other people.
I always buy stuff for myself.
But if you consider how often you're having to replace batteries in your items,
you're going to have to feed the dog before the video can get on.
That's what I was thinking. Thanks, Carter. But then he's going to be eating. Take his food in the garage, if you would.
Well,
or our bedroom.
His eating isn't that noisy.
Yeah, it is. You can hear him if he's eating. Alright, I'll start over with my little thing.
Sure.
Outtakes.
We must feed the dog or he will whine during the video. And those dogs need some in her bowl.
I already put some in the other bowl.
Both bowls have food. She just likes to bark.